I told you that we're going to have Lamee in the studio from the 10 o'clock hour. And I'm about to make good my promise. So it's a very special day. And we'll have a special guest in the studio. And that's the person of Lamee. So Lagos, let's make welcome Lamee. Yeah. By the way, the song you heard, Holy is the Lord, is by Lamee. And aren't we blessed to have her not just recorded, but live in the studio here this morning. Lamee, good morning to you. Good to see you in the end. I mean, we've been listening to your songs, but right now we'll have you here in the studio. So good to see you. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm also happy to be here.
Yeah, the singing voice is the same with the talking voice.
Really?
You know, many times it's not like that.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Many times people cannot really sing. They go to the studio and they engineer everything.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm happy to hear the same sound as we heard there. Good songs you make. I mean,
Thank you.
Good songs
Thank you so
make.
much. Thank you.
How do you do this?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a gift. So when you say how someone does it, it's not like someone just conjures it. I think it's there. It's within you. It's a gift. It comes naturally. So writing songs for me, it comes naturally. I started writing songs from the age of 19.
19.
Yes. So it comes to me very naturally. It's not something I have to force myself to do. It just comes naturally. I'm talking about something that you can't help but doing. It's like waking up in the morning is something you can't help but doing. Incidents, things that have happened. Well, could I give an example?
Yes, you can.
For instance, one of the songs I wrote, Search for Love, that was my first song. Let me talk about that song. That's the first song I wrote. I wrote that song at the age of 19. And it came from a place of my parents actually separated when I was at the age of 13. I was 13 when my parents got separated, and I went through the experience. I was the oldest child of 5. I went through the experience of, being a mother to my younger ones very early, having to step up, because, we're majorly with our father. So I had to step up. And the experience of having a stepmother, you now have a stepfather and all that drama, you have step siblings. When I say step sibling, not half siblings, step. She came with them. And he came with them like that. I have just one half sister. Those experiences, at a point I was confused. I felt lost. I felt disoriented. I had to grow up too soon, so I wasn't really ready for that role. So the song was talking about I was searching for answers. I was searching for love. The song is a search for love. I was searching. I was trying to find myself, trying to find, the meaning of life, basically. So I get inspired from different things when writing songs, especially experiences. One of the songs too, if I may go further, says Goodbye. It's a song I'm dedicating to my immediate younger brother, who passed on 6 years ago. And that song for me is very deep because it takes me to a deep place, considering that loss was very huge for me, and he was my only brother. He was the only male child amongst us. We're 6 actually, including my half sister. So he was the only male child among us. So it was a very, very difficult time. Not just because he was a male child, but he was my sibling, and he was the one following me directly. So it wasn't easy. Yeah. But that song came from that. So experiences, and then sometimes you are just worshiping, and you're just looking at the magnitude of who God is, and a song just pops up from there. So
you're a lawyer by training.
Yes.
So talk to us about the transition. I mean, you're supposed to be in the court, but here you have a microphone, you're singing. So.
Exactly. Well, I think we're all multi-talented. I think everybody is capable of doing more than one thing at the same time. Because if you look at it, whatever job you're doing, if you're married, you're still a mother. You're still a father. So you multitask in different ways. So for me, I think it's been interesting. Because on the other hand too, it's just that I've not really gone professional with it. I'm a good writer too, or so I'm told. So but I believe that I am. So I have different talents, and I feel for me juggling it, yes, was not so easy. When you have to raise a family, at some point I had to put a lot of things on hold to raise my children. because here in Lagos, I found out I wasn't like, I'm from the north, I'm from Bauchi State. So I came to Lagos and discovered that this is the hustle and bustle was a completely different lifestyle. It wasn't something I was used to. So you have to put some things on hold. Either you either do that, or you find out that your kids are being raised by someone else, or you find out that your kids might not turn out the way you want them to turn out. So I had to make some sacrifices for my children so that they could. But after that, when my children grew up, I found out that juggling all these things, they're not so, because all my kids are in university now. So for me, it's much, much, much easier.
So you're combining music with law and this work, and then the family, so
Yes.
this is a third part now.
Yes.
So wife, musician, lawyer. I mean, it sounds huge. So how do you actually make sure that none suffers?
None suffers now, especially because my kids are all grown up, and my husband is he's a very understanding person and very supportive. In fact, he's my rock. He's my number one fan.
On a Father's Day. Yeah, I like to hear that. That's good.
So he's my number one fan. He's my chief supporter, if you say something like that. A close second would have been my dad if he was alive. He's my chief supporter, and then my sisters too. So I find it's not difficult to balance now, especially that my kids are all grown up. So it's much easier.
He's not saying to you, musician. There's this notion people have about musicians. You're going to be out there, in the public space.
He's all for it,
and all of that.
He's all for it. And my husband is the kind of person who is happy for you to, find your most, your most incredible self. That's what he wants. He wants you to be the best person, the best version of yourself that you can be. That's him. And it doesn't matter to him if he's in the shadows, or if you outshine him, or if you become the person that everybody's talking about. People have to refer to him as, Lamee's husband, and they forget that he has his personality. My husband doesn't. He doesn't mind. He's not the kind of person that minds. He is very happy for me to be myself, to achieve as much as I can.
And I see you have another song here, titled Hallelujah.
Yes.
Where did this come from? What's the inspiration behind this one?
Oh, this one is completely my husband. He wrote this song.
Oh.
Yes, this song was written by him. And then there's another song too, Mark Wright. Yeah, he wrote the chorus of that song. That's what he's fond of doing. And then he would write a chorus and then throw it at me and say, you just do something with this, so you can put the body on it. So he wrote Mark Wright. But for Hallelujah, he wrote Mark Wright the chorus, and I finished the rest of the work. And then I think the bridge, he added some things there. But for Hallelujah, the entire song from the beginning to the end was written by my husband.
Be right
I
back.
just sang the song, yes. I just sang this.
Hallelujah, hallelujah,
How did your Christian background actually shape your life and what you're doing right now?
Oh, I wasn't really born. I would say my parents were not really, they were born into a Christian, but they were not really, born into a Christian home, but they weren't really saved, but they got saved after they had separated. But I would give a lot of credit to my Christian walk with God. I would give a lot of credit to two people majorly, and not to downplay any role any other person has played, because there are other people, but I would put two people. One of them is Reverend Adeboyega, who was the pastor of the church where I gave my life to Christ, Charity and Faith Missions in Zaria. So he really built me up, laid the foundation of my walk, Christian walk. And another person that really affected me spiritually was my stepmother. She was a very strong Christian. She pushed. She's the kind of person that would, 3 days she would be watching you. The next thing she would tell you, I have not seen you fast in 3 days. You're not serious. You should remain fasted, live a fasted and prayed up life and all that. So she really inspired me to be the Christian, that I am today. In that aspect, she pushed me to.
So after all, we have some good stepmothers out there.
Oh, sure.
We'll take another short break, a commercial break at this time. When we return, Lamee is still very much in the studio here with us, and I still got a couple of great songs from her you will need to hear. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. I think I would like to say to you that Nigerians too can make good music. I mean, good music doesn't have to be necessarily foreign. In the next 5 years, where do we see Lamee?
Well, well, my own dream. I should talk about what I want, because God, you know, you have your dreams, and God has His. Maybe dreams the dreams could go bigger, you know. But my dream is, by in 5 years' time, I should have done, at the very least, 2 more albums. You know, at the very least, 2 more albums, if possible 3, and I would have gained a name that would transcend Nigeria, transcend Africa, that would go around the world. And I believe that it's possible. And when I talk about a name, it's not to bring, you know, fame or, you know, whatever to me, to bring the light to me. But I want a situation where these songs that are blessing the few people around me so far that have been so blessed. There's a lady that called me, and she told me, she said she's my, she went to the same secondary school with me, my junior in secondary school. She called me and she said, I listen to your song every morning, Holy is the Lord.
Yeah.
Every morning I play when I'm driving to work, I play when I'm coming back home. I love that song and it blesses me. There's a way it makes me feel, it puts me in tune for prayer and all that. Yeah. And I want that for everyone. You know, people might, you know, somebody might like Holy is the Lord, another person might relate to Hallelujah, another person might relate to another of the songs. But I want people to be able to relate. I want it to be a blessing to lives, which is why I want it to go as far as possible.
The last song we played now, I think that's Forever.
Yes.
Forever is resonating with me already. I don't know if it's going to knock off Holy is the Lord in my head, but Holy is the Lord is a song for all time. These songs have international quality. I can testify. These songs have unique titles. That's the other thing I've noticed about these songs. I mean, thank you so much for coming through today.
Right. Thank you so much for having me.
Wish you all the very best. The album launch, and of course your music career going forward.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.